Dear sisters and brothers in Christ, the whole world remembers the dead, remembers those who died in their own families and their friends and persons who were close to them. So they remember them today, the commemoration of the dead. For us, our faith tells us that death is not the final one. It is not the ultimate. Death is the beginning of another life. Many of our people who are from outside our faith, they are afraid of death, because death is something that every human being seems to be afraid. But on our part as Christians, as Catholics, we are not afraid of death, because only at death we are freed. We move into another world and we live a life that is different from this life that we lead with blood and flesh. And this is what makes us move on in our lives. So in the gospel, we heard about Jesus' death and how Jesus' death came about, and how he was pierced by one of the soldiers, and there came out blood and water, the fountain of life. Dear sisters and brothers, one can philosophize death, but yet when it comes to persons, especially those who want to live longer, it is very difficult for them to accept death. People who roll in money, people who have all the riches, they really find it difficult to face death. I have seen my own father and mother dying, and I found their death is an example for me. My father, when he died, he even could tell us the time of his death. And though I was only 7-year-old, these memories are still fresh. So in other words, we cherish the memories of our own parents, our own brothers and sisters, our own friends. And why do we do that? Because we are human beings. As human persons, we care for the other. So when the other is not there with us physically, we find it extremely difficult to accept. There are cases which I know with the couple. So suppose the woman dies first. Then the man, if they are very loving couple, in 6 months they would, the next person dies, or 3 months sometimes. I have my own uncle, aunt, the two families. Just in a span of just 6 months, one after another they died. But what does it say? How does that affect us? It does affect, because any death affects a human person. Because emotionally we are involved with the person. Because we are involved with the person emotionally, we are also affected by it. So these are feelings. Because we are human beings, these are feelings. But at the same time, we also need to accept that we are Christians. So as Christians, Jesus has promised us that on the last day I will raise them up. Same Gospel of John. At the last day I will raise them up. So he tells his father, Father, I have whomever you have given me, I make sure that they come to you. So in other words, we are all baptized Christians. We are Catholics, yes. We believe in one holy Catholic Church. And therefore, we are all one. And therefore, when someone dies, we don't feel sad. We may feel sad as human persons, but we rejoice in the death of a person. Why do we rejoice? Because the person goes to heaven. The person goes to the other world, life after life. And he or she will live forever. As human persons, we can't live forever. There is a limitation. Death limits a person. But at the same time, if we lead our lives according to the values of Christ, then there won't be any difficulty. We don't need to feel sad about it. There will be a day when the death would come, and we should be happily embrace that death. And that is how we need to understand life itself. So therefore, the life that we live as human persons become very important, become very valuable. So therefore, our own value system has to be different. So in the world, we love one another. We try to forgive the other. Whatever may happen, we try to forgive the other. We try to focus on what is going on. Then, in fact, we'll be able to lead our lives in a meaningful